Welcome back to yet another
episode of Word
Stealing.
Today I bring you the podcast from the air. This is symbolic of me leaving the country in like 3 hours. But what can I say? Today's topic is what?
Is how to deal with changes in your life. So it's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Let us set up the camera so that I'm not standing the whole time with my
I'm above you. I'm stronger.
with my hands
I'm smarter.
with my hands trembling.
I'm better.
So we're gonna take care of that and come back to you in one moment. So here we are. The camera is set up.
I gotta take a picture of this shit. Hold on.
And
Go ahead and do the introduction.
we haven't prepared at all.
No.
So we just have an agenda, which is, as we've mentioned, how to deal with changes in your life. And we will be just keep on rolling with it, see how it goes. Hopefully someone finds it interesting. Maybe, possibly. And yeah, so
I don't think we really care anymore if anyone finds
yeah,
it
just
useful.
more for us, to
This
be
one
honest
is
with
true.
you.
It's like a video journaling method.
Yeah, exactly.
I highly doubt the camera can hear.
So you're leaving the country in like
Hold on.
No, it's more.
I'm leaving Lublin in 2 hours, and I'm leaving the country in
8?
9 hours.
9 hours.
No, 8 hours.
8 hours.
Oh,
I was right.
8 hours. I'm already just leaving at a different time, so that's why.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm leaving Poland for Lebanon. It's been 4 years of me living here, and I have left momentarily, like 2 months ago.
Yep.
2 months ago I left. I came back for this guy's birthday and to pick up some documents. And now I'm going back, now with a more permanent mindset. And I really got to appreciate the differences in cultures, both here and there, and lifestyles.
Yeah, we've been reflecting about it a bit.
Yeah.
And how you haven't been noticing it before. Because you've been settled down in Lublin for a long time, so you've been aware of that fact, but you forget how is it like to change countries that frequently, and it gave you kind of a new perspective on how every country differs, how cultures at the same time are pretty similar, but completely different simultaneously.
Yeah.
And have you like struggled with it when you first
Came to Poland?
not to Poland, but you came back to Lebanon for Poland?
Oh, definitely. You mean like that 2 months ago? Yeah, I didn't expect it. I was having a car ride with my dad, going home from work, and he asked me, "Is anything wrong?" I said, "No, I'm all good. I'm fine." He asked me, "Are you depressed?" I replied the general response a guy, a young adult would respond with, which is, "No, I'm fine." To which then we got home and I lied down for a bit. I was like, wow, I'm fucking depressed. The huge change in environment, I felt homesickness for the first time in a long time, because generally I accepted Poland as my homeland, since this is where I really started structuring and forming myself into the person I am. Yeah. And so when I left it to go live with individuals that are completely different, whole different culture, different people care about completely different things. I always knew it wasn't a country for me when I was a kid, but now I'm kind of forcing myself into prospering even though the country isn't for me. Which I still don't think the country is for me, but I still have like a duty to succeed there, and I want to see just how much I can adapt. So yeah, it was definitely hard, but that difficulty really just kind of opens your mind, opens your eye to things you appreciated
Here in Poland.
Yeah, that, and also made you realize people are fucking different. You don't really notice that before. Usually you think everyone's the same, just with slightly different qualities or goals or competences. But when a country's culture differs so much from another's, wow, the gap in people is huge. Also the work, the fucking weather, the living with family again. I haven't lived with family for over 4 years without my mother and 10 years without my family in Lebanon. So just me and my mother for a long time. So I'm just not used to it. It's very weird having brothers from different mothers and living with my father again. It's weird, but I wouldn't say it's a negative. It's using something while you can, so that in the future I can relate to, let's say, my children if they have to live in the family, or I have just in the future. I know for sure at some point I'll see a video clip or a movie mentioning family and its values and so on and so forth, and I'll think, damn, I didn't, make use of the time with my family while I could.
Yeah.
So that's that. But on the topic of change, we're dealing with change.
Yeah, because it can be different. You can be moving to another country, like in David's case. You can be left in your temporary hometown with no friends, because that's gonna be my case in the next month, where everyone I've been close to kind of moving to either other countries or other cities. So how to deal with it? Just accept the fact that it happens, and make the most of this chance you're presented with. So I understand, for example, if I will be alone, there will be less distractions, but these distractions are good and meaningful for you when you're spending time with your close ones. But it's a good opportunity to focus on the things you want to achieve, finish, graduate from university after all. So I see it just as a period in my life where some changes take place, and I need to kind of adjust to them and make the most out of them.
Yeah, that applies both ways. To your situation and to mine. Right, it's just a wave of me making use of opportunities. Same goes for you. The opportunity might be a lack of action or a surplus of action, surplus of changes. But also, I think all of life is, you're presented with three choices in all of life, in all endeavors. To stick through it, to pivot, or to completely stop it or dodge it. With Lebanon, I could pivot by living there temporarily but remaining at my base here. I could avoid completely by cutting off the idea of staying in Poland completely, not even visiting. Or I could commit to it like I'm doing now, which is going there, pushing through the hard times just to be rewarded later on for the quote-unquote sacrifices, which it's not really a sacrifice, it's just a change in values, I guess.
Yep. And same applies for friendships. In my case, it would be unethical to just cut out people completely, but you can just deal with it by yourself and put an effort into maintaining those relationships. If you feel like the people like that those friendship worth maintaining, because a lot of people tend to think that friends you make will be your friends till your deathbed, but there are some friends
Seasonal.
seasonal friends, let's call it that way. And about those three states, I just remembered the movie we watched yesterday, the incredible or amazing life of
Secret.
the secret life.
The secret life.
Whatever.
Myth.
I'll put the name of the movie.
Weekly with myth.
Yeah.
Nicholas Cage.
And he was stuck basically in life with no changes at all. He was stuck in the routine, and he was daydreaming a lot about the way he could have lived his life if not for some responsibilities and at the first place, fear. And then he finally decides to take the leap, and goes for. He was pursuing some man that he was receiving like pictures from, negatives, and he just randomly decided to go to Greenland, and it turned out to be one of the most one of his most memorable events in his life so far. And in this case, are those changes a bad thing or not? That's the question.
It's a glorification on the idea of something I wrote when I was 15 or 14. Make your life worth documenting. And you could do something in 1 minute, in 1 hour, in 1 day. It could be so notable. It could be a story you could tell for the rest of your life. But without the routine and the structure, those acts don't even show themselves. You can't imagine what you would do on a day-to-day basis, what you could do that would be out of the ordinary if you didn't do ordinary.
Yeah.
The balance between routine.
And one more thing to add right here.
How?
Because of course there are some changes that you have no control over, but most of them you are the one making the decision. And even though you will be going through hardships dealing with those changes, but most of the times it's definitely worth it in the long term. So we're going a bit off the topic.
Epictetus said.
But just let's say that changes is not something you should be scared of. Because if we will zoom out for a second and take a look at our life in scale, it's just the sequence of changes, which are initiated by either circumstances or our own decisions in the global sense.
Change is inevitable.
Yep.
Change is inevitable. The only choice we have is when to face it and how.
How to approach them.
And when to approach them.
I think that Stoic philosophy kind of good for approaching changes. Maybe it's not the perfect philosophy to live by, ideology, whatever. But when it comes to changes, the first rule of Stoicism, you have to accept it, and just take control over things that you have control over. The rest, it won't take care of itself, but at least you will not be killing yourself and overthinking all the time. Because we've been discussing this a lot, that life can be either overcomplicated if you decide to make it so, or you just can oversimplify things and everything starts to make sense. What do you have to say now? I'm running out of ideas, bro. Help me out.
The idea I have, starting to slowly fucking lose, by the way. How the fuck there? Hold on.
What?
Yeah, it's slipping, it's fading, it's dying. Hold on. I just put my hand in dog shit.
Okay, I can think about it. I can make a handstand.
Hit it. While Nikita's doing a handstand. Oh, what the fuck?
Commercial tag.
NordVPN.
Use our code WARSTEALING to get 10% off of your first month subscription.
When you're making a life-changing decision, you have to make sure to set in your head that no one's forcing you to make it. Because if shit goes wrong, if something goes bad, you'll blame the person who forced you to make the decision. I think it's more relaxing, more easy to accept when the decision is your own. For example, I went to Liverpool. Sure, I got pushed slightly into going there, but I wouldn't blame anyone for telling me to go there, because at the end of the day it was my choice. Only weak-willed people can blame other people for forcing to make decisions. In reality, if you're strong-willed, no one can force you to do anything, and no one can exert power over you, which is exactly
your
what it is,
responsibility.
which is how I'm approaching it now. So what's the point? What's the point of? Imagine you fail this whole project and you're going to the one fails. What do I do? I blame my dad? Oh, you wasted my time? What the fuck? No, it was my choice. It was conscious. Even though I got pushed into it slightly, I don't mind. It was my choice at the end.
Dream. With the change, I can't, for example, go back to Ukraine to my family, for example, for it's been almost 2 years at this point. And what can I do? I can try to help my family from being here in Lublin, try to help them, I don't know, financially, morally, how do you say it?
Yeah, morally.
Of course, I could have made a bit controversial choice of just coming back without even knowing about it.
Consent.
Until I standing in front of my door and knocking and saying, "Oh, hi." But I understand that it will be a lot of negative emotions from my family because they don't want me to come over while this situation is taking place in our country.
While there are negative emotions, I doubt it. And it's the same philosophy again on how to deal with change that happens. You don't have control over it, you just accept it. you're there, they're happy you're there. There's no point being mad at you for making the choice of being there. It's your choice. Now the only thing they have to do is make sure you don't get drafted. Anything happens to you. Which is a two-sided effort. It's yours too. And at the end of the day, it affects you negatively the most. It's a risk you're willing to take it. Don't get mad at your children for skateboarding.
And, 12 rules for life. So what? Quick summary. What they can even get to.
I'm leaving.
This man's leaving.
We probably won't see each other for a while.
Yeah.
God knows. We can control the choice of seeing each other. And taking actions toward it. It's another thing, yeah, change can be good influence by us. It's all about proactive. Yeah,
Just
it's one thing.
you're living.
Our mutual friends of Lublin are leaving to Warsaw. This man will be alone for a while also. Not fully alone. He's a charismatic fucker. Good man. I'll start learning to run a business. He will run a business. Yeah, we're doing what's called a sprint, which is delaying gratification with the knowledge that it will come soon. Knowing that the sacrifice will be worth sacrificing. Put in our head that this phase is a good thing. We can enjoy the day-to-day of grinding, even though it's kind of hard. Delaying gratification, see each other again. The knowledge that that extremely saturated now.
Yeah, motivational for another sprint. Exactly. Full of changes, which all of us need to deal whether you want it or not. And that's fucking life.
Yeah,
That's fucking life.
life is so simple that there's no point to really philosophize how to deal with change. The simplicity is you just kind of accept it. You can pivot, you can cancel, you can keep pushing. Those are choices. And the only way you know how to make the right choice is by experience. And at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a right or wrong choice, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all subjective.
It's all subjective. So
Sure.
live your life, make your choices, fight your demons. If you ever regret a choice, stop. There's no point in regretting a choice.
Yeah, and remember that everything that's happened to you in the past got you to the person you are today.
Even doing the wrong things will teach you what the wrong things are, and you know not to repeat them. Punishment is a greater teacher than gifts and praise.
And advice is presented to you on a silver plate. Because life is all about figuring out how to deal with changes, how to accept the hardship that happened to you, how to find the joy in simple things, how to create meaningful memories with your loved ones. And if we had an answer on how to deal with changes, it wouldn't be easy, right? So
I feel like we do the same.
yeah,
Some people deal with changes by committing mass murder.
or suicide.
I literally just read from Pearson's book that, who was it? Was it Freud? Sigmund Freud. Even his mind, he stated that life is suffering and people can deal with it one of four ways. Ignorance of a child, ignore everything. To wake up to the truth but to keep persisting nonetheless, to take your own life, or to commit action upon the world. Logical, strong, decisive action, which we all know is a horrible philosophy to deal with. And since 2016, there have been a lot of mass public shootings in America alone, all over the world, and these people followed that same principle, even though they might not be conscious of that philosophy. They followed that principle that they were treated badly, so they need to treat the world badly. They took their vengeance and then they took off themselves at the end of the whole action. Because at the end, it's life is valueless in their eyes. But in reality, life is what you make it. And there's a lot of people who, even through living through hardships and bad shit, became good people. Because if we all properly, clear our minds, clean up our houses, understand what's good and bad, and really take the time to learn self-love and values and not doing the wrong things and so on and so forth, the world would be a much, much better place. Unfortunately, just don't think they have the right to affect others. But at the end of the day, two people, kids, and we're on the right track. I don't think we need much more philosophy to really teach us what we're doing or what we're doing. And that's a lot of people really need to visit philosophy to know what to do. It's just, don't do the wrong things. And if you do the wrong things, be conscious of it. Be conscious of when you're harboring negative emotions, when you're hating.
Start journaling. Start journaling. That would be like number one actionable tip on how to deal with shit, because you can build up so much anxiety inside of you, so many like fucked up thoughts. But if you take 10-15 minutes to sit at the end of the day with no distractions, with no phone, put down everything you're thinking about, everything that you're concerned about on the piece of paper with pen and actual paper. Like with time, you will feel that you are understanding yourself and your situation better. Especially if you're rereading what you've been through for the last month or so.
And you're not looking back for nostalgia purposes. You're looking back just to see what made you who you are.
What the thought process of how you dealt with this problem. And then when you start to recognize patterns, you start to recognize what works for you, how you can, clean up your mind, what makes you happy, what makes you feel anxious. And then from there you start structuring your life so that you feel more. I'm not happy, I don't like the word happy. It's a feeling, it's a temporary feeling. You can
peace.
Peace and joy maybe. Joy. That's the word. So I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming over to the
I'm too jagged, bro. I'm too jagged.
I'm huge. Get out.